Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and make a quick video about the Apple event that took place yesterday. So the Apple event 2025, they announced new phones, new watches, new AirPods Pro, a lot of cool things. But I think the thing that took the stage was definitely the iPhone Air. Like hands down, the iPhone Air was probably the best product that they have, or at least the best looking product that they presented yesterday. And the price point isn't bad. Like it's everything. All the price points are on par with kind of what they did last year and the year before that. I was expecting a bit of a price hike if they were, going to continue like the Pro and going down that line. I was expecting things to start out a little bit more expensive this year because of, the economy and the tariffs and everything else. But surprisingly enough, they kept things down to where it's the pricing model and the pricing scheme of, all of the three different iPhone models are pretty on par with last year. But aside from pricing, I really liked the iPhone Air. It's just the coolest. If you whip that, it just looks so luxurious. Like you just look like a boss, pulling out an iPhone Air. It just looks really cool. But just looking at the website with you guys, like you can watch the event again. It was like an hour and some odd, an hour event. But but I'm gonna look at the website with you guys, and just go down. So this is the iPhone 17 Pro. You could tell here that with this bold new orange color, like they're kind of rolling with the style of the Apple Watch Ultra. So it kind of is giving me that Apple Watch Ultra vibe, so it really matches that look. So I think they're really just kind of incorporating that now into the phone, making that look more kind of ultra. But it's still technically Pro. They haven't done the naming scheme on them yet. And then we have the iPhone Air, and this is, let's look at this thing. It's crazy thin. It is crazy thin. We have the iPhone 17. This is going to be the cheapest model variant. I think that starts out at $799. So yeah, $799. That's where that's going to start out. And then the AirPods Pro 3. And then they've got Apple Watch Series 11. So they've announced several products yesterday. My thing is going to be the iPhone Air. I really think that looks dope. Just look at that thing. It's the thinnest iPhone ever, with the power of Pro inside. So they got the same chip that's in here that's going to be in the 17 Pro. So they're not skimping on the specs at all on this. The only really thing that I can notice with this new iPhone Air, is that you're getting the differences between this and the 17 Pro is going to be in the battery and in the camera. You're going to have a lesser camera in the Air, and you're going to have a better camera in the Pro, obviously. But that stands to reason. You're paying more. You're paying $100 more for that better camera. And if a camera is if that's a big deal to you, then you're going to go for the Pro anyway. I would be cool with just rocking the iPhone Air. I bet you that camera is going to still take great photos. Unless you're a photographer and you're really picky about it, you want the latest and the greatest, you want the fanciest camera system. A lot of YouTubers have said that they're going with the Pro for that reason, because of the cameras. But for me, I think it's either here or there. If I end up getting or buying an iPhone Air, or if I end up buying a new iPhone this year, it's not going to be because of the camera. It's just because I think this thing looks awesome. The pricing starts out at $999. So, like I said, that's. I was expecting this to be more. Like it looks like a more expensive phone than a phone that starts out at $999. It definitely looks more expensive than that, and I guess that's the beauty of Apple products, is they always kind of look expensive and luxurious, but they're catchy. It's like we got to do something different, guys. Like we gotta make it look pretty so people come out and buy it. Really, what they're doing here is they're just playing with your emotions. Apple is playing with your emotions to get you to come out and buy the new iPhone, because they know the guys that typically go for the Pro are gonna buy the Pro anyway. And then the people that maybe on the fence, they don't want to upgrade. They already have a 16 Pro Max like I do, and maybe upgrading this year isn't going to be the thing. And I would probably be that guy who would be like, I'm good. I'll wait until, a couple of years. My iPhone 16 Pro will probably be good for 2 or 3 more years. But that iPhone Air, It just looks nice. It just looks really nice. But I'm still not sure whether or not I'm actually going to go and get one. Probably not straight out the gate. But nevertheless, it's interesting news. Like, it's interesting news to cover because I think, and they're also beating Samsung on the thinness war with this iPhone. So we'll see what, if Samsung comes out with, in the coming in the coming months. Maybe they're going to come out with an iPhone, a Samsung phone a Galaxy phone that's going to beat the thinness of the newest iPhone. They've been going back and forth between that thing for years. So, but nevertheless, you're getting power. You're getting powerful CPU. You're getting a 6-core CPU, a 5-core GPU. It's going to play games great and supposedly still retain your battery, even while playing games and watching videos. They did say the 27 hours is for video playback and not game playback. I'm sure if you're playing games, it's going to still be a lot less because games just typically just drain the heck out of your battery. I mean, anybody who has an iPhone knows that. Even with the iPads, when you're playing games, you can just watch that battery just. But I mean, they still hold battery very well. Both iPads, iPhones, like all these Apple products hold their batteries very well. So, and I would expect nothing less from the iPhone Air as well. It just, so 27 hours of playback, you're getting up to 50% charge in 30 minutes. So fast charging is, of course, still present. Like I said, 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, up to 4 hours more video playback than the 14 Pro. Let's see what the difference is between the 15 Pro. So 20% faster than the 15 Pro on the CPU, 30% faster on the GPU. I think for the most people don't really care about the percentage. Like, how much better is it than my current phone? I don't think people really look at that much anymore. I mean, because, if it's a flagship device, people just know it's going to be great. Like, people just know if it's a new flagship device, they just automatically know it's going to work better than what I've got in my pocket right now, or it's going to be just as good. So, but yeah, I think people nowadays look less at the tech specs and they look more at like how the device looks. What does the screen look like? I mean, this thing's supposed to be like 3,000 nits worth of brightness on the screen. They're using the Pro XDR display, and they're putting extra coating around it to make it extra durable. But I think that those shiny polished edges are going to turn to just going to get destroyed. Like, within the first month of owning it, I'm sure people are just going to start pulling this thing out of their pocket, and it's going to be so scratched up that they're just going to be like, screw it, I'm going to put a case on to cover these blemishes. That's the only bad thing about. I remember when the iPod Touches came out, and they had that polished back, and just like after a few months, it just looked terrible, because it's just so scratched up, and that's just kind of the negative with having the polished sides or the polished back is just that it gets destroyed. And you just brush up against it. I mean, just the simplest things will scratch that polish. So, of course, we'll have iOS 26 by the time these phones come out. That'll be public. I know a lot of people are already running it, like myself. I'm already running iOS 26. On my iPad and my iPhone. I'm running it on my Mac. So are you guys going to upgrade this year? Are you going to buy a new iPhone? Are you going to buy a new iOS device this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation about it. I'd like to hear what other people are thinking and whether or not you're going to upgrade. I don't know about me, myself. I'm just kind of still on the fence on that because I still have a perfectly good 16 Pro Max sitting on my desk. So I'm just... it's not a need for me right now, and it's definitely not on the priority list when it's stacked up against other things. So, but I have a feeling it's gonna be the highest selling phone this year. So yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next